So in my first video, I made the case that the ability to hit the ball in the grass is fundamental number one. In my second video, I explained and hopefully demonstrated a setup that would encourage that to happen. In this video and in upcoming videos, I'm going to explain and demonstrate, hopefully, the in-motion parts of the swing that will allow you to hit it solid on a regular basis. So with this video, we're going to discuss where your weight needs to be at impact when you hit the ball. Before doing that, I think it's helpful to again remember that the low point or the bottom of the swing is right under your left shoulder. So with a shot from the fairway, as we mentioned previously, with a good setup, with the ball on the ground, I'm going to put my hip center a little left of center. I've got my upper axis right over that row of balls. I'm playing the ball 2 or 3 balls behind my left shoulder. So I'm setting up to hit the ball in the grass because where my shoulder is. The problem with golf, however, is that the shoulders are in motion throughout the swing. So that brings us to the fact that you want to turn in a circle or pivot and stay centered so as to keep the shoulder where it belongs at impact. So we're going to discuss today a centered pivot. So if I go back to address, here's my setup. Hips are a little forward, upper axis in the middle. In a good backswing, from a pivot perspective, the left shoulder comes down and back to the middle of the stance, ends up about where your sternum used to be. Like that. My hips are turning. They are not still. The knees are changing flex. However, they are not going side to side in the backswing. That's not to say they are still. They are moving, but they're turning and tilting and not going side to side. In the forward swing, the part that really matters, in the forward swing, I've got to keep my lower body weight as it unwinds moving forward, 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 forward as it turns. So at impact, my belt buckle, which started here 1 ball left of center in my stance, is now 4 or 5 inches forward of center in my stance. My upper axis is basically staying centered throughout the whole swing. Now, you can see, with this being the bottom of the swing arc, if I were a player who turned level and got my left shoulder, let's say, over my right foot, if I didn't slide back forward in the forward swing, that would make me hit back there or miss the ground and hit the top of the ball. You can see how if I didn't push my hips forward, my head would go forward, and that might make the clip of the grass too far forward. So to help us turn in a way and get the weight in a place that allows for solid contact, you want to turn and stay centered in the backswing. Hips were a little forward at address. They're still a little forward. And on the forward swing, they're pushing forward, 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 with no backing up of the upper axis. A lot of good players shift their hips too fast, too soon on the forward swing, and therefore tilt back too much, moving the upper axis back. You can see how that might make me hit right back there. So what we're trying to do is turn and stay centered so as to keep the upper axis in place at impact. That'll give us a great chance to make solid contact. In my next video, I'll explain where your hands need to be at impact which is another key component or key ingredient into making solid content.